Matthew, the seventh chapter, starting with verse 1. Do not judge so that you won't be judged. For you will be judged by the same standard with which you judge others, and you will be measured by the same measure you use. This is one of the most quoted yet misunderstood teachings of Jesus. People often use it as a shield against accountability, missing its deeper meaning. Jesus is not saying here that we should never make judgments. In fact, during this Sermon on the Mount, he spends quite a bit of time judging attitudes, behaviors, and religious hypocrisy. What Jesus is saying here is that we must first judge ourselves. Do the hard work of self-examination before we ever attempt to correct someone else. The problem isn't judgment itself. The problem is careless judgment, judgment that is harsh and hypocritical, lacking self-awareness. Jesus uses a vivid picture to drive home this point. A person trying to take a splinter out of someone's eye while ignoring the beam of wood in their own. It's almost comical, but it perfectly illustrates how absurd it is to try to correct someone else while ignoring our own sin. When we rush to condemn others, we forget the standard Jesus gives. With the judgment you use, you will be judged. If we hold others to a merciless standard, then that same standard will be applied to us. But when we begin with humility, acknowledging our own faults, we gain clarity to help others in a spirit of grace. This principle applies to how we treat people inside and outside of the body of Christ. Too often, Christians condemn the world while neglecting their own transformation. Real discipleship starts with the mirror. When we judge ourselves, repenting, growing, and letting God remove the beams from our eyes, only then are we ready to lovingly help those with the splinters in theirs. So let's take Jesus' words to heart. Instead of weaponizing this verse to avoid accountability or using it to silence truth, let's embrace it as a call to humility. As the songwriter says, let's start with the man in the mirror. Do the hard work on yourself first. Then, when you speak truth into someone else's life, you'll do it with the compassion, clarity, and credibility that only come from walking that same path yourself.